Welcome to our US briefing show, folks. Today, we're kicking things off with a big diplomatic move. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is heading to Israel next week, showing strong support just before the UN debates Palestinian statehood. He's planning to meet leaders from Israel and Qatar, dive into Middle Eastern security issues, and even explore some historic sites in East Jerusalem, including the contested City of David. It's a clear message of US backing for Israel amid regional tensions and peace efforts in Gaza. Next up, all eyes are on Madrid, where US and China are about to sit down for high-stakes trade talks. Key issues like tariffs, TikTok, and sanctions are on the table, and the outcome could shape the future of their economic relationship. While a full agreement might be tough, some smaller deals could be struck, possibly paving the way for a Trump-Xi summit before November. It's a critical moment for both nations, folks. And finally, let's talk about your morning brew. Coffee prices in the US have surged nearly 21% in August, the biggest jump since 1997. Tariffs on Brazilian coffee and other imports are pushing costs up, leading brands to raise prices and local cafes to add surcharges. Looks like your favorite coffee might be more expensive for a while, with prices peaking around 2026. Stay tuned for more updates, and please continue to watch for the detailed stories. Associated Press reports that Secretary of State Marco Rubio's upcoming visit to Israel underscores the United States' unwavering support for the country amid a tense geopolitical climate. As the UN prepares to debate the contentious issue of Palestinian statehood, Rubio's two-day trip will include visits to East Jerusalem's archaeological sites, such as the City of David, which is steeped in historical and nationalistic significance. Despite the strained relations between President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, particularly over Israel's recent attack on Hamas leaders in Qatar, Rubio aims to reaffirm America's commitment to Israel's security and oppose moves toward Palestinian state recognition. His meetings will focus on Israel's military objectives in Gaza, efforts to prevent European recognition of a Palestinian state, and the broader Middle Eastern security landscape, all amidst the backdrop of stalled ceasefire negotiations and Israel's plans to occupy Gaza City. South China Morning Post details the high-stakes, upcoming trade negotiations in Madrid, where the fragile US-China truce faces its final extension before expiry. The fourth round of talks will see US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent meet with Chinese officials, including Vice Premier He Lifeng, in an effort to bridge deep divides on key issues such as tariffs, technology exports, and strategic concerns. Experts warn that without significant progress, the prospects of a summit between President Xi Jinping and Donald Trump remain uncertain, raising fears of further escalation. The discussions will also tackle contentious topics like TikTok's future, illicit financial flows, and secondary sanctions on Russia's energy exports, all of which reflect the complex, intertwined economic and geopolitical interests at play. While some analysts believe a comprehensive deal might be achievable, many acknowledge the substantial hurdles, with China's firm stance and the US's reluctance to make major concessions casting doubt on a swift resolution. According to the South China Morning Post, high-level economic talks are scheduled between the US and China in Madrid next week, with US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng set to meet for 4 days. These discussions aim to address critical issues such as US tariffs, export controls, and TikTok, amidst ongoing tensions over trade and security. The US has extended restrictions on TikTok despite a Supreme Court ruling against the ban, highlighting the persistent concerns over national security and economic influence. Both sides are also exploring cooperation on disrupting international money laundering networks. Recently, Chinese trade envoy Li Chenggang visited Washington, and negotiations in Geneva, London, and Stockholm resulted in a 90-day extension of tariffs, reflecting a cautious but ongoing effort to manage their complex relationship amid mutual interests and disagreements. The South China Morning Post also highlights China's evolving consumer landscape and technological advancements. Chinese consumers, known for their frugality, are influencing global luxury markets as economic slowdown, changing tastes, and rising prices temper their appetite for high-end goods. Meanwhile, China's burgeoning consumer robotics industry is making strides internationally, with startups developing snowblowing and lawn-mowing robots that serve as a new growth avenue for Chinese manufacturers seeking to escape domestic overcapacity and price wars. Notably, Intel's veteran chip architect Su Fei has returned to China after 2 decades in the US to join Tsinghua University, signaling a strategic move to bolster China's semiconductor talent pool. Additionally, China is making significant investments in Thailand's industrial sector, with an $8.4 billion commitment to develop infrastructure and property, and its military is deploying large barges with hull numbers, possibly indicating new deterrence measures against Taiwan, underscoring China's expanding influence and strategic military positioning. The CNN article vividly captures the dramatic surge in coffee prices in the United States, the steepest since 1997, driven largely by President Donald Trump's tariffs. With 99% of coffee consumed in America being imported, the tariffs on key coffee exporting nations like Brazil, Colombia, and Vietnam have pushed retail prices up by nearly 21% year over year. Coffee brands, from industry giants like J.M. Smuckers to local establishments such as French Truck Coffee, are struggling to absorb these costs, leading to inevitable price hikes for consumers. While some companies are attempting to shield customers from the full impact, the economic pressure is mounting, with analysts predicting that the full effects of tariffs will continue to inflate prices well into 2026, creating a brewing storm for coffee lovers nationwide. Nikkei Asia reports the shocking and tragic event of Charlie Kirk's murder at Utah Valley University, where a sniper's bullet ended the life of the conservative activist and Trump ally during a public debate. The suspect, believed to be college-aged and blending seamlessly into the campus environment, was swiftly identified and taken into custody after a tense 24-hour manhunt. Law enforcement released chilling images of the shooter, clad in dark clothing and a U.S. flag emblazoned top, running across rooftops and firing from strategic positions. The gun used was a high-powered bolt-action rifle, found nearby, as investigators pieced together the scene of a politically charged attack that has sparked widespread outrage across party lines. Trump publicly expressed confidence in the arrest, praising the tip-off from a person close to the suspect and hinting at a potential presidential honor for Kirk, whose death has become a rallying cry against political violence. The Associated Press offers a colorful and humorous glimpse into the friendship between Sterling K. Brown and Dan Fogelman, highlighting the emotional and comedic moments surrounding their Emmy nominations. Brown, a celebrated actor with 3 Emmys, and Fogelman, the creator of This Is Us and Paradise, share a bond rooted in mutual respect and playful rivalry. Fogelman's cherished bottle of Johnny Walker Blue, engraved with Brown's Emmy win, symbolizes their camaraderie and the light-hearted spirit behind their professional successes. As they prepare for the Emmy Awards, their conversation reveals the playful dynamics of Hollywood friendships. Brown's brooding yet charming role in Paradise contrasts with Fogelman's ambitious storytelling, promising an exciting season ahead. Their banter underscores how awards and accolades are intertwined with personal stories, humor, and shared moments of triumph in the glittering world of television. Associated Press reports that President Donald Trump announced plans to deploy the National Guard to Memphis, with the support of both the city's Democratic mayor and Republican governor, to combat rising crime rates. Trump described Memphis as deeply troubled and compared the situation to previous efforts in Washington, D.C., where he also sent federal law enforcement and National Guard troops. Historically, Trump has expressed interest in deploying troops to other Democratic-led cities like Chicago and Baltimore, citing crime as a justification, although he faced resistance from local officials, especially in Chicago, which he characterized as hostile and filled with professional agitators. His deployments have included sending thousands of National Guard members and active-duty Marines to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., where he has exercised his authority as Commander-in-Chief, especially over the D.C. National Guard, which he has used for a variety of tasks beyond law enforcement, thanks to its unique legal status. These actions have sparked legal challenges and debates about federal intervention in local affairs, illustrating Trump's ongoing focus on law and order as a central theme of his approach to crime and public safety. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.